Did you shut that light off over there?
Hello.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Is there anything that you want to stretch tonight? Anything that's sore, like a little sore?
I have sore legs. I did it, it's been a while, and I did a 10K on Friday, and I can still feel it. I've been just doing like 5Ks or just the walking, but that day I'm like, oh, it felt so good, you know, and then the next day it's like, I got out of bed this morning, my calves were sore, I could hardly walk.
Okay.
I think he's coming up, he's just,
You guys run the 10K together?
Pardon?
Did you guys run together, the 10K?
No, no, I went on my own.
Oh,
So
nice.
it's Friday, I went in the afternoon, but we've been doing 5K walks, so then I still went with him that night, so we did 5K. So we just came in, we did 5K around, it was 3:30 today, so we're trying to get it in, but the one night it was like 8:30. Oh, it was so cold that night. I'm like, are we still doing this? He's like, yeah, we have to do 5K every day, but we walked it, so.
Yeah. Oh, that's
just to get out there and get some air and stuff, so.
Yeah. Happy belated birthday.
Thank you. Years are going by so fast.
Like, we'll have to like have a big party when we can all get together, like after everything's done for everybody's birthdays that we've missed.
Yeah, we'll have to do big, huge.
Yeah. All right, well, let's start in Shavasana. I have the class I had planned for tonight anyways is a lot to do with legs. So it's a lot of leg and hips. So it'll be really good. But let's start in Shavasana. And as we make our way into Shavasana, just allowing our body to begin to settle into our mats. Taking a deep breath in through your nose. And exhale it all out, let it all go. Take another deep breath in through your nose. Exhale it all out, let it all go. And with every inhale and exhale, allowing your body to begin to settle. Letting your mind begin to calm. And taking this opportunity this evening to check in with yourself and notice how you're feeling. Notice how your body's feeling. Taking a few moments to scan from the top of your head to the soles of your feet. And notice if there's anywhere that you might be holding tension. Any areas that might be a little bit sore, a little bit stiff. Maybe areas that might be a little bit tight or a little bit tender. And breathing into those areas. Letting your breath bring relief to anything that might be sore. Bring softness to anything that might be tight or stiff. Letting your breath dissolve any areas of tension. Letting your body settle into your mats. Taking note of any thoughts that might be rising up. Gently acknowledging them. Letting them continue to pass by. Drawing your attention back to your breath. Back to your inhales. And your exhales. Take a few moments this evening to set an intention for your practice. Something you wish to receive from your class. And on the next inhale, slowly begin to wiggle your fingers. Gently moving your toes. And then on the next inhale, draw your knees into your chest, giving them a nice gentle squeeze. Gently rocking a little bit of side to side. A little bit of forward and backwards. Circling your knees in one direction. Circle your knees in the opposite direction. And then lowering your feet back down onto the mat. And then pick up your right foot and cross it over your left, coming into reclined pigeon. And drawing your knee into your chest. And either you clasp your behind your left hamstring or you grab onto your left shin. And just allow our bodies to settle here. Try to allow your shoulders to soften. Removing any tension from your neck. Notice if you're giving your ankle a little bit of a twist in one direction and in the other direction. Just allowing it to soften. Take a deep inhale here. And on your exhale, can you draw your left knee in a little bit more? And just holding here. Notice if you picked up any tension in your ankle, allowing it to soften. Breathing into your right hip. Take a few more breaths here. Take a deep inhale. On the exhale, can you draw your knee in a little bit closer? Allowing your shoulders to soften a little bit more. And we'll take one more breath in. One more breath out. On your next inhale, releasing your hands as you lower your left foot down and shifting your hips to the right side of your mat. Open your arms up into a T and let your knee drop down to your left side. Coming into a twist. Keeping your right shoulder blade pressed into your mat. You can always look over your right shoulder. You can draw your left hand to your right knee. Just letting your body settle into the twist. Take a few more breaths here. Breathing into any sensation that you're feeling. Letting your breath soften those areas. Take one more breath in. One more breath out. On your next inhale, slowly begin to draw your knees back to center as you draw both knees into your chest, giving them a nice squeeze. Gently circling your knees in one direction. Circle your knees in the opposite direction. Then lowering your feet back down onto the mat. And pick up your left leg and cross it over your right knee. And then draw your right knee into your chest. And either you clasp your hamstring or your shin. Allow your shoulders to soften. Removing any tension from your right ankle. And notice how this side feels. How does the left hip feel? Take a deep breath in. And on your exhale, can you draw your right knee in a little bit closer to your chest? Drawing more sensation to your left hip. Allow your shoulders to soften a little bit more. Maybe you circle your ankle a little bit in one direction and the other direction. And take a deep breath in. And on your exhale, can you draw your right knee a little bit closer to your body? Increasing the sensation to your left hip. Try to soften the shoulders. We'll take a few more breaths here. Noticing your thoughts, and maybe your mind might have wandered or drifted. And just drawing your attention back to your breath. Back to your inhales and your exhales. Take one more breath in. One more breath out. Slowly begin to release your hands as you lower your right foot down. Shifting your hips to the left side of the mat. Open your arms up into a T and let your knee drop down to your left side. Keeping your left shoulder blade pressed into your mat. You can always look over your left shoulder. You can take your right hand to your left knee. Letting your body settle into the twist. Breathing into any sensations that you're feeling. We'll take one more breath in here. One more breath out. Slowly begin to draw your knees up as you release your left leg and draw both knees into your chest, giving them a nice big squeeze. Gently circling them in one direction. Circling them in the opposite direction. And then let your knees sway from the left to the right, gently letting your knees fall to your left side or to your right side. Coming into fetal position, and we'll just take one deep breath in here. One deep breath out. Slowly begin to press your way up and making your way to tabletop position. We're going to move into a couple of cat-cows. So we'll do a couple of regular cat-cows, and then we'll add movement to them. So plant your hands underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. And on the inhale, drop your belly, pull your chin forward. Exhale, press into the palms of your hands, round your spine. Inhale, drop your belly, pull your chin forward. Exhale, press into the palms of your hands, round your spine. Last one before we add movement. Inhale. Exhale. On the inhale, drop your belly, pull your chin forward. Exhale, press into the palms of your hands, round your spine, send your hips down to the right, circle them all the way to the left. Inhale, drop your belly, pull your chin forward. Exhale, press into the palms of your hands, round your spine, send your hips down to the left, circle them all the way to the right. One more inhale. Exhale, press into the palms of your hands, sending your hips down to the right, circle them all the way to the left. Last one, inhale. Exhale, press into the palms of your hands, round your spine, send your hips down to the left, circle them all the way to the right. And from here, coming up onto our knees, we're going to move into our toe squat. So tucking all your toes. And from here, either you sit up onto your feet, maybe you draw your hands here, or maybe you walk your hands a little bit further back. So stretching the ball of your foot. Might feel a little bit in your quads. Breathing into the sensations. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, can you go a little bit deeper? Got 15 more seconds. Take a deep inhale. Exhale out of the mouth, let it all go. As you slowly release, coming back onto all fours, releasing your toes, and then gently tapping them onto the mats. Notice the sensations you feel as your feet begin to relax. And we're going to move into ankle stretch. So sitting back on your feet, and from here, rocking your knees up just a little bit. So feeling that sensation in your ankles and the top of your feet. And to draw more, you can always draw your knees up a little bit higher. You can always slide a block underneath your knees as well. But notice maybe if you're holding tension in your shoulders, I tend to want to like force, so I try to like relax. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, can you go a little bit deeper? Maybe you draw your knees up. We have 15 more seconds here. Take nice deep inhales and exhales. Take one more breath in. Exhale out of the mouth, let it all go. Slowly release as you come back onto all fours. Picking up your feet and then slowly begin to turn them in one direction. Circle them in the other direction. And then from here, walking your hands out, we're going to come into Sphinx pose. So lowering all the way down onto your stomach. Drawing your elbows underneath your shoulders. Removing tension from your legs. Take a deep breath in. Exhale it all out, let it all go. Take another deep breath in. And exhale, breathe into any sensation that you're feeling in your spine. Do you feel it in your low spine? Maybe your mid-spine. Maybe you feel a little bit in your shoulders. Letting those areas soften with your breath. And take a deep inhale here. Exhale, draw your chin to your chest, so stretching out the back of your neck. Take another deep inhale. Exhale, can you draw your chin a little bit closer to your chest? Take one more inhale. One more exhale. On your next inhale, slowly draw your chin back up. And on your exhale, draw your right ear to your right shoulder. Two more breaths here. Inhale. Exhale, can you draw your ear a little bit closer to your shoulder? Take one more inhale. One more exhale. Then on your next inhale, draw your chin back up to center. And on your exhale, draw your left ear to your left shoulder. Take a deep breath in here. Exhale, can you draw your ear a little bit closer to your shoulder? Take one more breath in. One more breath out. On your next inhale, slowly draw your chin back up to center. And then lift it back up to neutral. So your option is to stay here in Sphinx pose, or maybe you move into seal pose by pressing into the palms of your hands, straightening your elbows. Keeping your breath nice and deep. Breathing into your spine. Allow your shoulders to draw down and away from your ears. Take a deep breath in here and a deep breath out. Maybe you walk your hands up a little bit closer to your body. Take a couple more breaths here. Inhale. Exhale. Take one more breath in. One more breath out. Slowly begin to lower down all the way onto your stomach. As you draw your hands together and letting your forehead rest on the top of your hands. Allowing your shoulders to soften and your spine to release. Take one more breath in. One more breath out. Drawing your hands underneath your shoulders. Push up to tabletop position. And from here, we're going to come into wide knee child's pose. So open your knees as wide as your mat. Draw your big toes together and send your hips back. And you can keep your hands out in front of you, or you can always circle them to your feet. And if your forehead doesn't rest on your mat, you can always slide a cushion or a block. But allow your shoulders to soften. Allow your hips to settle. And taking a few moments to check in with yourself. Notice how you're feeling. Notice how your body's feeling. Notice if you're present, or has your mind wandered or drifted, which it might, just letting that go. Drawing your attention back to your breath. Back to your child's pose. Can you allow your hips to settle a little bit more? Allow your shoulders to soften. We'll take one more breath in. One more breath out. Then on our exhale, slowly come back to your tabletop position. Planting your hands underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. We're going to curl our toes under. We're going to set up for downward facing dog so we can set up for pigeon pose. So planting your hands, curling your toes, send your knees up and your hips back. And take a couple breaths here just to pedal out your feet. Move your hips side to side. Then on your exhale, float your right leg high to the sky. Then coming into pigeon pose, so draw your right knee to your right wrist and your right ankle to your left. Release your toes. Inhale, walk your hands up to set the hips. And then on your exhale, begin to walk your hands out. So coming into reclined pigeon. And maybe you start on your forearms, or maybe you feel very mobile today and you just allow your body to rest. Allow your right hip to settle. This one's our long hold this evening. So we'll hold this one for about 3 minutes. Try to remove any tension from your left leg. Take a deep breath in here. Exhale, can you walk your fingertips out a little bit further? Challenging your edge. Keep breathing into your right hip. Letting your breath soften any sensation that you might be feeling. Take another deep breath in here. Exhale, can you walk your fingertips out a little bit further, challenging your edge. And notice if you picked up any tension in your left leg, trying to soften your knees, soften your ankle. Allow your shoulders to soften. Keeping your breath nice and deep. Take one more breath in. Exhale it all out. Slowly begin to walk your hands up. Whew. As we sit down onto our right glute, we're going to come into twisted deer. So sitting on your right glute, bend your left knee behind you. Square your shoulders to the front of the mat, and then begin to walk your hands over your right knee. Take a deep breath in here, and on your exhale, begin to walk your hands out. And so maybe you start on the palms of your hands, or maybe you come down onto your forearms. Or maybe you go down all the way down onto your floor. Take a deep breath in here. Exhale, can you walk your fingertips out a little bit further, challenging your edge. Got a few more breaths here. Take one more inhale. One more exhale. Slowly begin to walk your hands up. As we make our way into figure four, so draw your left leg forward and take your right foot and draw it to the instep of your left thigh. Inhale, reach both hands up. Slightly turn to your left and begin to fold over your left leg. And maybe you grab onto your ankle or your shin, or maybe you grab onto your foot. You can also, if you have a strap, you could always use a strap and walk your hands further down the strap if you don't grab onto your foot. And if your hamstrings are really tight, you could always have a slight bend in your knee. Allow your shoulders to soften. A few more breaths here. Letting your body draw a little bit closer to your leg. Take one more breath in. One more breath out. And on your next inhale, slowly begin to walk your hands up. And then from here, placing your right hand behind your spine as you reach your left hand forward. So we're gonna add a little bit of movement. So on the inhale, draw your hips up as you reach your left hand back. So a little bit of a back bend. Exhale, slowly lower. Two more. Inhale, reach your left hand up as it reaches back. Exhale, slowly release. One more. We'll hold it at the top. Inhale. We'll exhale here. On the next inhale, can you reach back a little bit further? Exhale, slowly lower all the way down. Very nice. And then from here, drawing your knees, drawing the soles of your feet on the mats. And then windshield forward, bring your legs, so drop your knees to your right. Come back to center. Drop your knees to your left. One more time, drop them to your right. Last time, drop them to the left. And then from here, coming back into tabletop position. So making your way back to your tabletop. Planting your hands underneath your shoulders, your knees underneath your hips. We'll set up for downward facing dog so we can set up for the other side. So press our knees up and then our hips back. Take a few moments to pedal out the feet. Move your hips side to side. And then eventually finding stillness and floating your left leg high to the sky. And then coming into pigeon pose, so draw your left knee to your left wrist. Left ankle to your right, release your toes. Inhale, walk your hands up to set the hips. And then on your exhale, begin to walk your hands out. Coming into reclined pigeon. Notice how this side feels. Maybe you're a little bit more gentle, or maybe you can push it a little bit deeper. Maybe you start on your forearms, or maybe you start all the way down on your stomach. This one's the big hold this evening. Take a deep breath in. And on your exhale, can you walk your fingertips out a little bit further, challenging your edge? Letting your left hip settle a little bit more. Notice if you're holding any tension in your right leg. Allowing those areas to soften.
Telling the little people about it.
Take a deep breath in here. Exhale, can you walk your fingertips out a little bit further, challenging your edge. Allowing your shoulders to soften. Removing tension from your neck. Letting your left hip settle a little bit more. We have a few more breaths here. Take one more breath in. Exhale it all out. Slowly to begin to walk your hands up. As we make our way into deer pose, so sitting on our left glute and bending our right knee. Squaring your shoulders to the front of your mat. And then begin to walk your hands over your left knee. Take a deep breath in here. And on your exhale, begin to slowly walk your hands out, coming into twisted deer. So maybe you start on the palms of your hands, or maybe you come down onto your forearms. Breathing into any sensation that you're feeling. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, can you walk your fingertips out a little bit further, challenging your edge. Take one more inhale. One more exhale. Slowly begin to walk your hands up. As you swing your right leg forward, coming into figure four, half butterfly, so draw the sole of your left foot into the inside of your right thigh. Inhale, reach your hands up. Slightly turn to the right as you begin to lower down. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, can you fold a little bit more? And if your hamstring's tight, always have a slight bend in your knee. Allow your shoulders to soften. Trying to remove stress from your neck. Few more breaths here, allowing your body to draw a little bit closer to your leg. Take one more inhale. One more exhale. Very nice. Slowly begin to walk your hands up. As you take your left hand behind your spine and reach your right hand forward. On your next inhale, draw up your hips, so slight back bend. Inhale. Exhale, slowly lower. Few more. Inhale. Exhale, slowly lower. Last one, let's hold it at the top. Inhale. We'll exhale, hold here. Take one more breath in, reaching your hands a little bit further back. Exhale, release all the way down. Very nice. As you release your left leg, give it a little bit of a shake. Draw the soles of your feet onto your mats. Windshield wiper your legs to the right. Come back to center, letting them drop to your left. One more time, back to center, drop them to your right. Back to center, drop them to your left. Very nice. And then from here, we're going to set up for frog pose. So we haven't done frog in a while. So taking your mats and curling it up to get a little bit more support underneath your knees. Open your knees as wide as they can. Trying to keep your heel and your knee in alignment. And then from here, you can either stay on the palms of your hands or maybe you come down onto your forearms. Take a deep breath in here. And then on the exhale, can you send your hips back? And if you're really mobile, you can always just lay your whole body down on your mat or on the floor. But breathing into your hips. Take a deep breath in here. Exhale, can you send your hips back just a little bit more? Take a few more breaths. Take a deep inhale. Exhale it all out. On the next inhale, slowly draw your hips forward as you come back onto the palms of your hands. And then slowly and carefully draw your knees back in, walking them nice and slow. Releasing your mats. Kicking your feet to one side or another and coming into a seated position. And lower all the way down onto your back. And make sure that you have your block with you. We're going to come into waterfall. You'll draw your knees into your chest. Shift your hips up. Slide the block underneath. As your feet go up to the ceiling, allow your palms to face up. You could have a slight bend in your knee. You might have to adjust the block to find that perfect place. Allow your shoulders to soften. Removing tension from your neck. Take a deep breath in. And on your exhale, can you allow your shoulders to soften a little bit more? Removing any more tension from your neck. Letting your body find a little bit more rest. Take a few more breaths. Take one more inhale. One more exhale. Slowly draw your knees into your chest as you shift your hips up, sliding the block out from underneath. Drawing your knees into your chest, giving them a nice big squeeze. Gently rocking a little bit of side to side. A little bit of forward and backwards. Circling your knees in one direction. Circle your knees in the opposite direction. Open your arms up into a T and letting your knees gently fall to your right side, coming into a twist. Adjusting your knees, whether you draw them closer to your body or you soften your knee bends. You could always look over your left shoulder or just keep your eyes up to the ceiling. And take a few moments to notice how this twist feels in the first one of your class. How does your spine feel? How do your hips feel? We'll take a few more breaths here. Take one more inhale. One more exhale. Slowly draw your knees back up to center. As you let your knees slowly fall to your left side. Keeping your right shoulder blade pressed into your mat. Adjusting your knees, whether you draw them closer to your body or you soften your knee bends. And notice how your spine feels in this twist. How your hips are feeling. Take a couple more breaths here. Take one more inhale. One more exhale. On your next inhale, slowly draw your knees back up to center. As you open up to happy baby, grab the outside of your feet, open your knees nice and wide. Gently rocking a little bit of forward and backwards. A little bit of side to side. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, open up to Shavasana, legs as wide as your mats. Palms to face up. Letting your body melt into your mats. Taking this opportunity to let go. Letting your body find rest. Letting your mind find peace. Taking a few moments to scan over your body. And notice if you're holding any tension anywhere. Breathing into those areas. Letting your breath dissolve any tension. Letting your body relax a little bit more. Taking note of any thoughts that might be rising up. Gently acknowledging them. Letting them continue to pass by. Drawing your attention back to your breath. Back to your inhales. And your exhales. Letting your body find a little bit more rest. Your mind find a little bit more peace. And on your next inhale, slowly begin to wiggle your fingers. Gently moving your toes. Slowly waking up your body. Drawing your attention back to the room. Then on your next inhale, slowly reaching your arms up and overhead. And grabbing one wrist and gently pulling it to one side of the room, feeling the stretch in your side body. Release that wrist, grab your other wrist and gently pull it to the opposite side. Releasing that wrist, reach your hands to the very back of the room and your feet to the very front. On your next inhale, take a full body stretch, breathe in. Exhale, let it all go. Slowly draw your knees into your chest, giving them a nice big squeeze. Gently rocking a little bit of side to side. A little bit of forward and backwards. Circling your knees in one direction. Circle your knees in the opposite direction. Then letting your knees sway from the right to the left. Gently letting your knees fall to your right side or to your left side, coming into fetal position. And offering breaths of gratitude. Grateful for your practice this evening. That you took time to slow down and connect to your body, to your breath. Take a few moments to reflect on the intention you set at the beginning of practice. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out, let it all go. And on the next inhale, slowly begin to press your way up to a seated position as you keep your eyes closed and you draw your hands to heart center when you arrive. Take a deep breath in. Exhale it all out. On the next inhale, draw a gentle smile to your face. Exhale it all out. Take a few moments to thank your body for all the hard work it did this evening. I thank you and am very humbled and blessed by your practice. Namaste. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was good.
Yeah, did it feel good?
Yeah, feels really good. The legs feel really good.
Yeah, well, I thought it would be really good for, like, because you ran and stuff, so, like, pigeons
Yeah.
all really good, and deer, and twisted deer, and all that stuff, so. And frog. I just did frog because I know Josh loves frog, so.
Yeah, I like frogs too. It's good.
It's a good stretch.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it feels really good. And we held everything today, so I made sure that everything today was held for at least 90 seconds. So that's why it was like a lot longer. And then some of them were like 2 minutes, and then pigeon was 3. So, but everything else was like 90 seconds. So it's like that good threshold of length. Yeah. Awesome. What are you guys doing for the rest of the evening?
I'm gonna go start the barbecue, make some supper,
Nice.
or at least make some meat. And Julie
Yeah.
will probably do the rest of the food, and then a little bit more work to do. And I actually forgot tomorrow was family day.
Yeah.
So I'm
Gives you an extra
slightly less stressed about the stuff I
Yeah,
had to
because
get
I
done
think-
today because I can just do it tomorrow.
I think post office is probably closed tomorrow, right?
I think so, yeah. I think all Canadian governments.
Yeah. So I think nothing's going to go out till Tuesday anyways, but it's still good to get whatever you
Well,
can get done.
I'm sending it by UPS. So
Yeah, I don't think they're open either. I'm pretty sure a lot of that stuff's closed, but I'll check. So.
Yeah. Well, enjoy your evening. Have fun cooking on the barbecue. Stay warm. It's cold out there.
Have a good night.
yeah, you
Yeah.
too.
Bye.
See you guys later.